All right, it's been a while, but I'm back with another video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to compromise the domain by taking advantage of the domain admin group access control lists. So I'm using Game of Active Directory. If you're not familiar with it, it's an intentionally vulnerable Active Directory environment with multiple forests, domain controllers, and servers. So what I've done is I've compromised one of the domain controllers. I am in as a user, Rob Stark, and I'm a member of the local administrators group. So I'm a domain user, but as you can see here, I don't have any other domain membership. Well, Stark, but I don't have any elevated domain membership, I should say. So I'm going to do, let's look at here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to import Power View. All right, so now that I have this imported, what I want to do is I want to find who are the members of the domain admin group. So I'm going to do a get domain group member identity domain admins, and I'm going to select to drop the member name attribute. Okay, so the only members of domain admins right now are Eddard Stark and administrator. I want to add myself into there, who is Rob Stark. We can verify that. So what I'm going to do is first I have to see what are the rights that I have over that group, right? So I'm going to use the get object ACL command from Power View. I'm going to see what rights Rob Stark has, and I want to filter on security identifier and Active Directory rights. Okay, there we go. So using this PowerShell command, which I'm sorry, Power View command, and Power View is a very, if you're not familiar with it, a very powerful domain enumeration tool. You can get a lot of really good information really easily out of this tool. So just a little plug for the tool there. So using the tool, I could see right here I have generic all rights, but this we're not going to worry about. That's a local, the local system. So we're going to ignore that. Generic all, if you're not familiar, is essentially full access. So it means I have full control over that object. But there's something else interesting here. There's a couple objects here where I have right property, right owner, and right DACL. So I can write discretionary access control lists, right to the owner, and right to the object properties. So we could actually use this to our advantage to take over groups. So first thing we need to do is we need to know we have these rights, but what do we have these rights over? I mean, these are SIDs. These are not human readable. Right now, we have no idea what objects these are. So here's how we'll find that out. We're going to do a convert SID to name, and we're going to pass it the SID. So there's domain admins right there. So we'll stop there. We're not going to bother checking anything else out. We want to focus on domain admins. So I want to get myself into the domain admins group. I already have some right access to that group, even though I'm not a member, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of the fact that we have right owner and right DACL. So I am going to make this simple for myself and copy these commands over. Makes life a lot easier. I've done this previously, by the way. Okay, so we're setting our principal name there. We've got Rob Stark, creating an identity reference. And now we're going to create the access control entry that will provide, allow generic all to our identity reference here, which is domain admins. Let's try this again. Oh, that's not going to work. I didn't hit enter after the first. Always have to be really careful with these commands. It's so easy to type something in incorrectly. Okay, let's go back and try this again. Now we'll put our access control entry in here. And we're going to set the access rule. Then we're going to commit these changes, which will hopefully give us generic all access to, oh, it won't work. Do you know why it won't work? Because we need to be in an elevated PowerShell prompt for this to work. So we did our due diligence, right? We know what we need to do. Let's go into an elevated PowerShell script, prompt. All right, I want to just make this a little bigger. And I'm going to change directories. Go back to Rob Stark. We're going to import our PowerView module. Trying to talk and type at the same time. And now let's go through this exercise all over again. Let's use our ADZ script here, and line by line, we're going to enter this in. You could really write this out as a script onto the system and then just execute the script. Probably easier, but I'm just going to pass each line. Why make it easier on myself, right? Let's see here. Now we're going to commit these changes to Active Directory, and we are going to see if this works. So we saw the screen before. I closed it. I shouldn't have, but you saw that we had those write permissions on the domain admin group, but we did not have generic all. So I'm going to do identity, Rob Stark. We're going to select, again, security identifier, Active Directory rights. And how awesome is that? We have generic all rights over the domain admin group. So that means we have full control over that group. Let's just verify. Domain admins. So what can we do with those rights? Let me show you. So let's do domain admins, recurse, and we're going to say select member name. So there are our members. Now that we have full control over that group, what we can do is we can say net group domain admins. I should have really showed you this before I made this change to show you that it doesn't work without the generic right, but you'll have to trust me on that one. Or download Code and do it yourself. Where was I? So we're going to add domain successful, bang. So Rob Stark is now a member of the domain admins group. What we did was we took advantage of these access control entries by using PowerView to display those and give ourselves generic all rights to domain admins, which, as I said again, give ourselves full control to that group over that group, which with full control, it allowed us to add ourselves to that group. And thus, we own the domain now. So I hope this was helpful. Hope this is useful in your penetration testing endeavors or whatever you're doing security wise. I thought this was a really cool trick or hack and wanted to share. So please like and subscribe if you enjoy. I appreciate any comments. And until next time, thanks for watching.